Hello and welcome to Frank's vlog. This is January 6, 2024, the 6th day of my vlog. This will be shorter than the last one for various reasons. One of which I'll tell you that second. I'm going to try to leave the subject of my pigs and all I'm learning from them, and also leave the subject of biochar and making charcoal until I actually do it. And that's going to be a while because we got we got the deepest snow out there at the moment, only about 6 inches, but it's the deepest snow we've had in a long time, and we got more coming. Although I could do it in the snow, there is something to be said for actually doing that in my mind, but I'm going to try to leave that. I did want to say this though. Pigs in the snow, I talked about decentralist feeding. I scatter the feed as whole grains, and then the pigs, it's gone real quick, but they have to see it. That was a surprise to me, because when I try to do the same thing in snow, unless it would lay right on the surface, and even then it wouldn't work very well. If it goes through the snow, the pigs don't see it. And ultimately they would smell it, I'm sure. But they're so used to just going around and gobbling up, they're doing it by sight. And it really throws them in confusion when I throw it. Actually, I throw it with a little bowl-like thing. So I throw a bunch of it at a time. And I go through the motion, and then there's none there. So, I had to adapt to that by feeding them on the inside of the barn on the concrete floor, and any other place. Or once they've tracked it up, then they can see it. That's all right. And I had prepared for this snowstorm. I saw it was coming, and I swept the barn floor up down there, and I got kind of everything ready, and I had a plan. But what I had not planned on is what basically is what I've got to tell you. I got inconveniently sick. A sick spell, I'm going to call it. I still don't know exactly what it was. If it had been, if I'd been drinking, I would have said, well, it was a hangover. Because, I woke up about 4 in the morning and I realized I'm not sure I can get up without falling down, because I was lightheaded, like when you have a fever or something like that. I actually think at this point, what it was I overdid it yesterday in getting ready for this snowstorm. And that, after I came in, I really did overdo it. And after I came in, I ate, as they say, unwisely and too much. But it didn't seem all that different. I just realized I'm really eating a lot here. I probably shouldn't be eating this much. And anyway, between the two, I think I ended up getting an upset stomach or something. And anyway, one of the reasons I'm sharing this with you is because on one of my Facebook groups, my Facebook page or something, I think it was the one called Finding a Better Way, I'd written recently the comment that someone who imagines that they're going to be independent, a little bit like Thoreau maybe, and on their own they're going to leave the city, build a little place in the woods, squat if they have to, by themselves. The by themselves part is a fantasy. No, humans live in groups. Sometimes, for the vast period that humans have been humans, in very small groups, 50, maybe 100, but they do live in groups. No man is an island. And when I woke up and I was in that condition, I knew I was in trouble. Partly because the house was getting cold. I hadn't been firing all night, and it was down in the 20s. My son fires, but he hadn't fired hard particularly. And I was realized this is my job, this is my time to heat the house up. And I don't know if I can even stand, much less go downstairs. So so that was and the other thing is my animals. You know, how was I going to get out to the barn? Because they would expect their feed and the whole routine, and I wasn't even sure if I could get across the room. How was I going to get out to the barn to take care of my animals? The result was that I woke my wife up, who normally would get up hours later than that, and so would my son. And I told her, I'm going to have to wake you up. I think we may have to wake our son up too, because I'm sick. Now I got over it. I think by tomorrow I'll be 100%. I probably don't look all that sick right now either. But anyway, I'm just using it as a lesson to anyone who I was not under that delusion that one person all by themselves can, you know, say the rest of the world can go. I'll just be a survivor. It's a fantasy, and I was in that condition that I needed help, and the help was here. So, with that thought, I keep talking about why I'm doing this vlog. My plan is that tomorrow I'll give you the big reason, the big story. I'll start to. Bye for now.